If you drop a cat out of a window, will it survive? And why do cats always land on their 4 feet? Let's figure it out together. This phenomenon is often called the righting reflex in cats. It's a natural mechanism that allows cats to almost always land on their feet. There are 3 main reasons for this. First, cats have excellent balance. Their bodies are perfectly adapted for this. When we talk about balance, we mean the ability of an animal to keep its body in a certain position relative to the force of gravity. For example, when you walk, your body constantly tilts forward, but you remain upright due to your sense of balance. In cats, the sense of balance is developed amazingly. It all starts with their ears. They're more sensitive than ours because their inner ear contains a special structure called the vestibular apparatus. This structure is responsible for sensing the tilt of our body and maintaining our sense of balance. The vestibular apparatus works thanks to the fluid inside the inner ear. When you change positions, the fluid sloshes around, stretching tiny hairs that send signals to the brain. These signals help your brain understand which way is up and down, left and right, and how fast you're moving. In cats, these receptors are much more sensitive than in humans. This allows them to catch even the slightest changes in body position and react instantly. Just imagine you're on a swing. You know it's swinging, but you still feel like you're standing still. Cats, thanks to their sensitive vestibular apparatus, can feel the same way on a much larger scale. They can be falling from great heights, but still be able to orient themselves before hitting the ground. The second reason is their flexible body rotation. A cat's spine is extremely flexible, which allows them to twist and turn while falling, adjusting their body position. A cat first rotates its head toward the ground at around 180 degrees per second. After that, they rotate the shoulders and torso, after which the hind legs are aligned so that the whole body faces downward. It takes less than half a second for a cat to rotate its entire body during a fall. And this is despite the fact that some cats have what's known as a long fall delay, which means that when they fall, it takes them a little longer to start rotating their body. And now the third reason, controlling fall speed. A cat can control the speed of its descent, which is essential to survive a fall. As soon as a cat realizes it's falling, it spreads its legs wide. By doing so, it increases the surface area of its body relative to the air, which slows the rate of descent. When a cat falls, its body automatically spreads out into a kind of flat pancake shape. This slows down the descent, acting sort of like a small parachute. This reduces the impact force when the cat lands, making it easier for them to absorb the impact. And by reducing the force of the fall, a cat reduces the risk of serious injury. Another important thing is how cats land. When a cat hits the ground, it usually bends its legs to absorb the impact force. This is similar to how a shock absorber works in a car, protecting the vehicle's engine and other components from damage. However, sometimes things don't go perfectly. If the cat falls only 1 to 2 meters, it simply doesn't have enough time to rotate its body correctly, and it hits the ground incorrectly. Also, if the cat falls from a great height, even if it manages to land correctly, the impact force can still cause injury. That's why cats that fall from high places sometimes suffer serious injuries or even die. So yes, cats do have a kind of superpower that allows them to land on their feet most of the time. But it's important to remember that it's not a guarantee of safety. If you drop a cat out of a window, it might not survive. It's not like cats have 9 lives. It's more like they have 1 life and many chances to save it. Each time a cat falls, its life is in danger. It's not just a game, and each fall can be the last one. The righting reflex is a unique adaptation that has evolved over millions of years and is common among most species of cats, but it's especially well developed in domestic cats. Even if a cat falls from a relatively small height, it usually manages to land on its feet. This reflex is triggered by a sudden change in position, and it's an instinctive reaction that doesn't require any conscious effort on the part of the cat. It's estimated that 75% of cats that fall from heights survive thanks to this reflex. As for why cats can balance themselves so well, it's due to a combination of factors. First, their vestibular system is highly developed, which allows them to sense changes in body position and maintain their balance. Second, their flexible spine allows them to quickly change the position of their body during a fall. And third, their righting reflex is triggered very quickly, allowing them to start rotating their body within a fraction of a second. It's important to note that although most cats manage to land on their feet, it doesn't mean that they always land safely. A cat that falls from a great height can still suffer serious injuries upon impact with the ground, even if it lands on its feet. In addition, a cat that lands awkwardly can also be seriously injured. Therefore, it's best not to test your cat's luck and make sure they don't fall from heights. But back to the question, why do cats always land on their feet? There are two possible explanations for this amazing ability. The first one suggests that cats learned this skill from their wild ancestors, such as tigers and lions. These large cats need to be able to land on their feet after a jump or when changing direction quickly. This helps protect their delicate bones and internal organs. Over time, this skill was passed down to domestic cats through natural selection. The second explanation is based on experiments conducted in the 1960s by John C. Glenn and his colleagues at the University of Chicago. They studied how cats land on their feet by dropping them from various heights onto a soft surface. The researchers concluded that cats use a combination of instinct and learned behavior to land on their feet. According to their findings, cats instinctively spread their limbs to slow their descent and increase their surface area. At the same time, they rotate their body in midair to align themselves with the ground. Additionally, cats learn from their experiences and adapt their landing technique based on the surface they're landing on. This explains why cats are more likely to land on their feet on hard surfaces than on soft surfaces. It's also worth noting that cats have an incredible ability to judge the speed and timing of their fall. They can determine how long they'll be in the air and adjust their body position accordingly. Thanks to this ability, cats are able to reduce the impact force on their body and protect themselves from injury. So, do you think you now know enough about why cats land on their feet? Test your knowledge. Which of the following statements is incorrect? A cat's spine is stiff, making it difficult for them to rotate during a fall. A cat's sense of balance is highly developed due to the structure of their inner ear. Cats can control the speed of their fall by spreading their legs wide. Choose the correct answer. If you got this question right, you can safely call yourself a pro in the field of feline physics. And if not, it's time to rewatch the video. Who knows, maybe there you'll find the answer. Also, do you know why dogs can't be good at catching fish? It turns out that the whole thing is about paws. Find out in the next video.